Hi Hans, welcome back to the world of Level 30. Today I'm showcasing my new book I just published for sale on Amazon. Kindle version is $9.99 in US dollars, and the paperback, this is the proof, so it won't have this gray bar along it. It's $29.99 in US dollars for sale around the world. But also I have it really big, wide spaced for people to be able to read it easily. And then the back, again, this gray bar would not be on the one y'all buy. This is my proof version. Waiting for my author's copy to come in. But today I'll be reading 3 more chapters. If you want to read it yourselves, you can buy it. But I'll be reading 3 more chapters, and we're feeling some something I'm planning on doing in a couple days. Hope y'all attend it. But let's get started with chapter 7, I believe we left off. Yeah. Chapter 7. The Breaking of the Covenant. The city knelt. From the sky, it looked like devotion. Millions packed into streets and rooftops. Heads bowed, hands raised, voices unified in rehearsed humility. Screens the size of buildings displayed children singing forgiveness they did not understand. Drones hovered like angels that belonged to someone else. The Covenant had done its homework. They had chosen a city with no recent atrocities, no obvious feelings. They had scrubbed records, silenced witnesses, cleaned their hands until they appeared blameless. If Stacy judged them now, she would look cruel. If she did nothing, they would win. Fear had evolved into faith-shaped armor. Stacy hovered above the clouds, wings folded tight against her back. For the first time since her awakening, she felt something else close to revulsion, not for humanity, but for the idea of it they were selling. They think I'm a spectacle, she said. The Watcher materialized beside her, not as an observer this time, but as a presence, pressed into reality, the air bending around its impossible shape. They think you are a tool, it replied, and you are proving them right. Ooh, skipped a little bit too far. Oh. Stacy didn't look at it. You reincarnated me to judge. I reincarnated you to understand. She then turned, eyes burning like dying stars. And now I do. Below them, the Covenant leaders watched hearts rate possible curves spiked every second she delayed with a calculation in their favor. Stacy descended. The crowd gasped as she emerged from the central square. Ash-feathered wings chased a shadow that swallowed moments whole. Silence fell, not reverence, but terror, pretending to be calm. A man stepped forward, the Covenant's chosen voice. His hands shook perfectly. We have changed, he said. Look at us. Stacy looked. She saw the truth beneath the choreography. She saw hunger postponed, not ended. Hatred waiting for permission. System paused, not dismantled. And beneath it all, a single unifying belief. Survive her, then return to normal. This is not repentant, Stacy said, her voice carrying without amplification. This is hostage negotiation. The man swallowed. Isn't survival the point? That was when the Watcher intervened. Time shattered, not stopped, split. Every person in the city experienced a different moment simultaneously. Some saw the past, some saw futures that would never come. Some saw nothing at all. Stacy staggered. What are you doing? She demanded. Showing you what comes next, the Watcher said. She saw it then, timelines branching like fractures into glass. Every version where she accepted the performance, humanity returned to the cruelty within decades. And every version where she annihilated the city, the rest of the world hardened into something worse. And in one narrow path, thin as a blade's edge, she did something new. She did not kill them. She did not spare them. She ended the covenant. She steadied herself as time snapped back into place. The crowd blinked, unaware anything had changed. The covenant leader smiled, sensing victory. Stacy raised her hand. Everyone here lives, she said. Relief rippled through the city, then vanished. Every lie you have ever told, Stacy continued, will now be known by the one person you fear judgment from most. The effect was instantaneous. I can't speak today, I'm sorry. Secrets ignited like wildfire. Parents turned to children who suddenly knew the truth. Partners staggered under betrayals spoken aloud by their own mouths. Leaders collapsed as their carefully hidden crimes screamed themselves into the air. There was no death, there was no escape. The Covenant's members, every architect, every manipulator felt something else happening inside them. Their ability to justify themselves vanished. They could still lie. They just couldn't believe it anymore. Across the city, screams rose, not of pain, but of collapse, of identity shattering underneath the weight of honesty. The man at the center fell to his knees. You said you judged, he sobbed. This isn't death. She knelt before him. No, she agreed. This is accountability. Above them, the Watcher watched, silent, uneasy. This would not end them, it warned. Only transform them. That's the point, Stacy replied. Death won't be mercy. The city did not burn. It broke. The world watched as the Covenant dissolved overnight, not by executions, but by the exposure so complete that no system could contain it. When it was done, Stacy rose into the city, to the sky, wings trembling, not with doubt, but with the restraint pushed to its limit. The Watcher followed. You were changing the rules, it said. I learned from humanity. Stacy answered. You should be proud. The watcher said nothing. For the first time since time began, it did not know whether it had created a savior or something far more dangerous. But lo, humanity realized the truth far worse than war. The angel of death has found a punishment worse than dying, and she is still deciding how far to take it. Chapter 8. The One Who Refuses Judgment. 1. Under her shadow, the world learned how to live quietly. People still went to work, still laughed in small, careful ways, still fell in love under skies that felt heavier than they used to. But every kindness carried an echo now. Is this enough? Every cruelty came with a glance upward, as expecting wings to blot out the sun. Children stopped asking if monsters were real. They asked if monsters could forgive. In one city, a man erased racist graffiti before the sunrise every morning, not because he had changed his beliefs, but because he learned that hatred left fingerprints. In another, a woman stayed in a loveless marriage because she believed sacrifice counted as virtue. Fear became a teacher. It taught people how to look good. It did not teach them how to be good. Stacy watched from above, silent as orbit. She intervened less often, not because the world was improving, but because it was adapting. Learning how to hide, how to stall, how to appeal printed long enough for judgment to pass. The watcher stood beside her, in presence dimmer than before. This is sustainable, it said, for a time. It's a lie, Stacy replied. They're waiting me out. Yes. Then they don't understand what I am. Or you do not understand what they are. Stacy did not answer. 2. The man who would not kneel. Elias Mercer lived in a coastal town too small to matter. No cameras, no altars, no organized repentance, just storms, fishing boats, and a hospital that never had enough staff. Elias worked nights there, trauma intake, disaster response, hands steady for years of cleaning up what others broke. He had seen her once, not directly, no wings, no voice, but the moment she passed overhead during a judgment miles away, every machine in the ER had flickered. Every patient had gone silent at once. Elias had felt it. An Indian brushing past him. When rumors spread that the angel of death could hear prayers, people in town gathered at the cliffs to beg. Elias didn't go. When preachers arrived, he walked away. When a child asked him if being good would make her spare them, Elias answered honestly, I do not know, he said, but it is still worth being good. That night, Stacy came to him. She stood at the end of the hospital corridor, wings folded, presence barely contained. Patients slept unaware, nurses passed without seeing her. Elias looked up from washing blood off his hands. "You're late," he said. She tilted her head. "You knew I would come?" "Eventually," he replied. "Everyone else was trying too hard." She studied him. "You don't feel me." "I respect what you do," Elias said. "That's not the same thing." Stacy stepped closer. The light dimmed. "Why didn't you kneel?" "Because you're not my judge," he said calmly. The words landed like a fracture. "I have judged kings," Stacy said. "I have judged cities. And none of them asked you to," Elias replied. "They just needed someone to blame." The silence stretched between them. "I don't ask for mercy," Elias continued. "I don't ask for survival. I don't even ask you to stop." "Then what do you want?" Stacy asked. "I want you to leave us with our consequences," he said. "Not your conclusions." Hold on. The watcher stood above them, alarm treading through its vast awareness. "This one is dangerous," it warned. "He undermines the function." Stacy ignored it. "You think I'm wrong?" she said. "I think you're tired," Elias replied. "And tired gods make mistakes." She raised her hand. Time slowed. Elias did not flinch. She looked into his thread, saw no performance, no hidden altar, no plan to survive, just a man who chose good without expectation of reward or fear of punishment. It disturbed her. "If I spare you," she said, "the world will say it's proof of mercy." "If you kill me," Elias said, "they say it proves you're a tyrant." He met her gaze. "Either way, they'll use it." Stacy lowered her hand. "For the first time," Stacy said quietly, someone refuses to be part of my judgment." And Elias nodded. "Someone has to." She vanished without killing him. 3. Aftermath. News spread, not of death, but of absence, of a place she should have struck and didn't. People whispered that the angel of death could be challenged, that she could be reasoned with, that she could be waited out above the planet. Stacy hovered alone. The watcher spoke carefully. "You hesitated." "Yes," Stacy replied. "He will inspire others." "I know." "This threatens the reset." Stacy looked down at the world, the quiet hospitals, the stage kindness, the rare tendering lights flickering, settling against the dark. Or it changes what the reset means. For the first time since the alley, Stacy felt something she hadn't prepared for. Not doubt, not mercy, resistance. It did not come from humanity's worst, but from its best. Below, Elias returned to work, stitching a wound, saving a life, fully aware that the angel of death might be watching, and choosing to act in a way. Chapter 9. Schism. The Watcher decided Elias Mercer could not be allowed to live. It did not hate him. Hate was a human flaw. It was calculus. Across probability space, Elias was a destabilizing constant, a variable that resisted fear, resisted worship, refused to define morality through punishment. Where Stacy judged, Elias endured. Where she imposed consequences, he accepted responsibility. This made him dangerous. So the Watcher acted. No thunder, no omen, no wings. Elias was finishing a shift when the air in the trauma bay folded inward. Monitors froze. Sound dampened like nothing. A pressure, not physical, but absolute, passed through his chest. He looked up once, not in fear, in understanding. "Oh," he said softly, "so that's your answer." His heart stopped. Reality smoothed itself over him like he'd never been there. No judgment, no spectacle, just removal. Stacy felt it instantly. She was high above the atmosphere when the thread snapped. Clean, deliberate, long. Elias's light vanished, not like death she had sectioned, but like something erased. Her wings flared violently. "No," she whispered. The Watcher was already waiting. He posed an acceptable wrist. "You killed him?" she said, with her voice trembling, not with grief, but of fury. Hypervented collapse. "He was human," she snapped. "That was the point. He was a flaw in the system." Stacy descended in a calm burn of ash, appearing in the empty hospital corridor where Elias had stood hours earlier. Blood still stained the floor. A chart